Hello, guys and girls, my friends. Back for another one. This one is gonna hurt your feelings, but somebody's gotta say it. And it's gonna be quite ironic, I must say. Because here I am using the same technology that has enslaved your mind, your will to live your life like it should be lived, to be yourself, the real version of you, not this you that you created to shield yourself from the real you that's in there somewhere. I don't know who's going to come across this, but I hope this helps you understand a little bit the dark side of technology that's all around us. And yeah, here I am, using my device to communicate with a bunch of people on the other side. But, there's a positive side, and a negative side for everything. Everything in this universe that we live in has its own light and darkness. The problem with technology is that it has reached a point now where the people who are developing these things, they know exactly what to do and how to do it to keep you in this perpetual state of hypnosis from yourself, sleepwalking, I call it. I call it the zombie generation. And if that offended you, well, I don't care. Because that's how it is. I challenge anyone who's watching this to put their phone down for a day or two. Don't even look at it. Just to see all the crap that's going to emerge from yourself because of that alone. You see, we're so busy looking at these things. I've came to a point in my life where I'm pretty fortunate. Well, the thing is, I haven't had a device like this up until, I am going to say, quite recently, because the way I was living my life, this wasn't an option for me. I lived in survival mode for so long that I simply couldn't afford it. I'm not ashamed of it. But now that I look back at it, I'm so glad that I couldn't afford it. Because at least I wasn't dragged into this Neverland world that has nothing to do with the real thing. These devices have everything that they can possibly have to numb your mind, keep your soul in this perpetual state of sleep without ever even realizing who you really are, what you really are, what you can do, what you can achieve. These things, there is so much distraction built into it. This is the perfect tool for anyone who is seeking external validation outside of themselves. It's perfect in every single way. It works like a dream for the people in control. For those who are in control. For the powers that be. They have many names. They have been called many different things. The Masons, the Illuminati, secret societies. I personally don't like to put a label on it because I don't think it's just one single entity. I think it's the amalgamation of all of these things combined with a very small group of people at the top pumping all this wealth, finances, and resources into it to make sure that they don't lose control. Because we have reached the point now where they're absolutely desperate to keep their grasp on the control system that they've built that has worked so well. And this is used in so many ways. It's used in it's so subtle and yet so visceral, so raw, so real. When you decide to wake up from your slumber and look at it in the eye, it is undeniable, irrefutable. This is not a conspiracy theory, my friends. It's never been. This is what many of us at some point in our lives, or maybe even some of you who are watching this right now, have always denied, but deep down inside you knew the truth. Nobody had to come out and tell you. Look at it. Think about it. Divide and conquer. What a smart way to keep everyone busy, arguing with themselves, hating themselves for whatever reason. And none of it matters. I finally reached a point in my life where thankfully none of that stuff pops on my device feed anymore. I don't even care. If it's negative news, I don't even know about it because it doesn't show up for me. And if it does happen to come through somehow, some way, I'm not even looking at it. I can see that shit from 10,000 miles away. Because I refuse to live in that world. That's not my world. It used to be, once upon a time. But I let that go. I've moved on. And you all should too. This is how they win. This is how they control you. This is how they shackle your mind. This is how they make you be in a prison of your own making. Do you even realize the seriousness of what I'm talking about here? I hope you do, for your own well-being. There's an app for everything now. They know everything about you. Everything that they need to know. So they can custom build They can custom build everything that they possibly need to keep you busy scrolling, checking that stuff back. How many likes did I get? How many likes did I get? Oh, nobody's liking that one. Nobody cares. Why do you? Why should you? If you're actually looking for that kind of validation outside of yourself from anybody else, you're looking at it from a completely different angle, different lens, different perspective, different reality. That's not the point. But there are people out there that's the world they created for themselves, and they bask in it. They can't live without it. They can't go an hour or two without checking their stuff, their feed, whatever it is that they're doing. If they're creating something, or if they, whatever it is. Especially if you're in the social media field of things. I'm trying to make this habit in my own life now with these devices, that I don't look at it more than 4, 5, 6 times a day at the most, because I don't need I don't need it. Like, I just want to live my life, and that's definitely not an integral part of my life. Yeah, I know it sounds pretty counterproductive and ironic. Here I am making a video about it. But the reason why I'm doing this is because I know the negative effects that this can bring onto people's lives. I see it in the young people everywhere I go. Most people are so enthralled in this fake matrix that they created themselves with these devices, that they don't even acknowledge anything that's going on around them. Other people, anything. I've seen people trip, fall on their faces, walk onto a wall, do all kinds of stuff like that. It's funny, but it's not, you know. It's funny if you witness, but it's extremely sad at the same time. You were so busy looking at your effing screen that you couldn't even see that there was an obstacle in front of you. Are you for real? You need some serious help. You need all the help you can get. That's going to take a lot of help. Now, people like me can maybe point you in the right direction, but I can't do what needs to be done for you. You have to do it yourself. You have to start somewhere. I'm not here to tell other people for them to live my way. I'm here to tell you that there's a different way of looking at things. And it's a much more healthy and balanced way. And once you start setting that in motion, you'll be so glad you did. You're gonna rediscover this entire reality that has always been there, and you didn't even know about it. Because you were sleepwalking this whole time, like a goddamn zombie. And I don't know where this is gonna go, but let me tell you, it's not pretty though, from my perspective when I look at it. I don't like to be negative in any single way, but damn, what are they gonna do next? They're gonna want people to implant like things into their brains and shit and marketize that in such a clever way that everybody's gonna wanna do it because it's gonna be the coolest thing ever. Human 2.0, here it comes. You're gonna be smarter, stronger, faster, live longer. I'll tell you one thing though, I ain't buying shit. That ain't gonna be for me. Thanks, but no thanks. I pass. I'm happy with who I am, where I am. And I'll stick with that. It worked for me my whole life. You know what's the beauty of being a Gen X person? I'm gonna tell you. We didn't have any of this shit when we grew up. We were blessed by the gods of the universe to live a perfectly normal childhood into our adulthood. None of this crap existed. And life was amazing. I mean, life is amazing. It's always been. But I feel sad for a lot of these younger people out there that are like, teenagers today in their 20s. Because they have no idea of what that was like. This technology has been around for that amount of time now. So you guys, you've had this stuff around you since you were very young. Hopefully not too young. But now it's getting ugly. Now it's getting really ugly. Because now people think that parenting is throwing a device at a child and walking away from it. What a beautiful example are you setting for your children. What an amazing parent you are. And if what I'm saying right now is triggering anybody, it should. I'm not here to apologize. The truth hurts sometimes. And when it does, you should stop and ask yourself, why am I getting triggered? That's why they say the truth hurts. Look, you do what you want to do. You do you, okay? But I think that everything is okay as long as it's balanced. But these devices, they're so mainstream now and they're everywhere, and it's like people have become so attached to these things. It's like it's a part of their body, and it should never be that way. Ever. Like ever. Understand that. Yes, there's a good side to these devices. Absolutely. One of them is this thing being here right now, allowing me to record this. But make no mistake about it. You need to be smart about how you use these things. They can put subliminal messages on literally everything today. And that stuff is targeting your subconscious mind, which is the most important part of yourself that you're not aware of, or maybe you are. See, these new TV screens that they have now, since they've had them, the HD ones, the 4K ones, all of them, since their inception, they can have entire messages running in the background of a movie, a commercial now, with words and everything in there that's almost invisible to the eye, but perceptible enough that your subconscious mind is going to capture that. And they're feeding you all this crap, and your brain is absorbing it all. And if you haven't learned to live a life with some sort of like mental awareness, discipline of some kind, that's going to cause some serious damage, whether you see it or not. But it's going to be there, and it's going to make your life so much harder in so many ways. So my suggestion is unplug as much as you possibly can, here and there. I know it's hard. I know, for a lot of us, we use these things for work. I know all that. I'm aware of all that. You don't gotta go over there down in the comments and start, listening, what do you say, putting a million reasons there why, yeah, I know, I understand, but balance is the key. Balance has always been the key. Everything in life, it's all about balance. When things are out of balance, that's when shit goes wrong. That's when bad things happen. You're not aligned, you're not balanced. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there making, these videos. Just trust, do this, do that. I include myself included. But these devices, you gotta learn how to detach from them in a very balanced, healthy manner, as much as you possibly can. Because it's going to make such a huge difference, impact on your spiritual journey. And I mean that. I know that. The good thing, though, the good news, yeah, it just sounded like a doom and gloom video, huh? But that's not what I mean. You know what I mean, guys. You know what I mean. The good news is that, these devices, the internet, there is so much information there that we can use for our own growth, our own benefit. So this is what I mean by, find the balance within it. Use it for all the positive things that you can use to improve yourself, to better yourself, to make your life so much better in every single way. It's amazing. So it's the yin and yang. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this one, really. Just be mindful of the technology, how you use it, and don't become a slave to it. Do not allow yourself to be enslaved by these things, because the mind loves it. The mind absolutely loves it. You know that. Don't lie to yourself. Yeah. I hope you got the message. You got the message. I know you did. This is not your first rodeo. I know that. So, with that said, I love you very much. Keep loving yourself. Keep living your life for yourself. That's the key. And then everything else will follow. Take care, guys. I'll see you on the next one.